Your attention spans are probably ruined, so I'll keep this quick. Fires are bad. Really bad, especially in Australia, because somebody decided to fill our trees with flammable oil. Smart money people have decided that bushfires are very expensive, so Australia decided to do something. Scientists now have cool fire prediction, but us plebs still have nothing. Regular people don't need hyper-advanced stuff, the average person definitely isn't qualified to use it anyways, so we should just make a simple one for normal people without the gigabrain PhD. So you can put simple numbers in here, and they get numbers out there. Cool, but how? Neural network. Sounds scary, and that's because it involves math past the grade 4 level, which I am not capable of. Y equals mx plus c, or b, depends on where you're from. By changing m and b, we change what y is, and it becomes a map. If x is 7, y should be whatever's on screen right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's call this f of x, because otherwise it gets messy really quickly. You might know that neural networks are made of neurons. Let's take a look inside of one. There's enough x's to write a Conan Gray song on this side, and on the other side it's y. It's sent to multiple places, but don't worry about that for now. We tie all of these neurons together so that the result of each neuron gets passed down to the next layer. We test it, see how bad it is, then move stuff in vaguely the right direction. Except this is way too big brain for me, so we just copy what the scientists figured out and then lock it behind a function that we never have to open. We make it repeat itself a bunch of times, for us it was several million, save the results, and there you go, a neural network. Now that we have it, we can look at how it performs, just like I said in the title. Oh, that's right, we still haven't talked about how you haven't hit the like button yet. Did it do a cool rainbow thing for you? That's your sign to click it. And it turns out we've got a bit of a problem. Neural networks are inherently math-based, and there are things that you can't represent with math. For example, dates. I was about to use my brain cell and do some thinking, but then I remembered that in the field of AI, you can rely on someone else to do all of the work for you. So that's what we did. Unfortunately, I can't find a source for this research as neural networks are many decades old, but the accepted way of doing this is to convert the date into sine and cosine signals, as they return to their starting point by the time the next cycle begins, giving us a unique coordinate pair for each date. Need I remind you that a YouTube video is not a good source of information, and if you really want to know how we did this, read our paper. Showing the users a bunch of numbers doesn't really tell them much about what's going on. Sure, we can add some extra descriptions to maybe tell them about how big the fires are, but what if they needed to see the fires? For that, we need a map. The problem with the map is that maps are about locations, and we have no location data in our training data. Well, we did, but we cut them out because it was kind of useless, and also we can't expect users to be able to put in information for a bunch of locations. So what do? Well, we can lie about it and we can fake the map. For it to be a believable map, we just need to put the fire dots in reasonably likely areas that fires are actually going to start. And luckily for us, we do have the likelihood of where the fires occur. We can just count the amount of fires that we see, like in the dataset, and put them down in locations on the map. Afterwards, we reduce the resolution a little bit to make sure that the dataset isn't absolutely massive. Then we can just take the fire size and just spread it through Australia with the likelihood of a fire appearing in each section of the map. Another thing that regular people can't do is code, so we have to put this up somewhere with a flashy interface, which usually, for AI, means making a website. But making a website is difficult, and seeing as we've already made most of this in Python, what we're going to do is to just write the front end in Python as well. Gradio allows us to just declare UI components in Python, and then it spins off its own website. It's built off of SvelteKit and is the industry standard for open source AI models, I think. Now that we have a great UI, Gradio actually makes deploying this to a website incredibly easy with HuggingFace, which is the company and startup that maintains Gradio. And now we can finally talk about the performance of this model. It's pretty darn accurate, except for when it isn't, such as unprecedented fire events, so this hasn't accomplished anything better than the Siren models as expected for the amount of data we fed it. Also, we can't trust the map because that's entirely based off of probability, no machine learning has gone into that, and we aren't testing the map either. The map is a visualization tool, so don't use this as an indicator for whether or not your house will burn this summer. Happy New Year, everyone!